Hello there, folks. My name is Spoonks, and I saw Dune, the highly anticipated, critically acclaimed, widely praised movie of the year. It was okay. Believe me, folks, I'm as surprised as you are because I was one of the people who were highly anticipating this movie. The trailers looked awesome, and the director, Denis Villeneuve, had an astounding track record. The cast was amazing, and it seemed like it was going to be one of my favorite films of the year, as many people I know personally who saw this movie were one of the many who sang the praises of this movie, so I was really looking forward to it. But unfortunately, I didn't really see the praise. I didn't see what everyone else was seeing with this movie, unfortunately. And that's okay, because I'm happy for everyone who enjoyed this movie as much as they are, and I'm happy that it's getting a sequel that's coming out in 2 years. Ooh, that's coming soon. But basically, what I'm saying is don't let me stop you from seeing this movie, because at the end of this video, I'm pretty much still going to recommend that everyone go check this out, because it is no way, shape, or form a bad movie. And there are many things I liked about it, which we'll get into very soon, but I just feel like I'm in the minority when it comes to the reception that this film has, and I don't want people to get the wrong message and not see this movie for themselves. But let's now get on with the review and what I actually liked about the film. First off, the spectacle and the world building of this film is insane. From the first 4 seconds of the movie, it immerses you into this world and you feel like you have been transported not just to another world, but like another dimension, and you are just fully embraced in the surroundings and the culture of this world and these people, and the spectacle of it is massive. This is definitely one of those movies where you should definitely go see it at the theater. If you're still hesitant and are waiting for that next big movie to really bring you in, to say this was the first movie I saw when I returned to theaters, this is the movie to do that, because the sound and the how big and grand everything is and how high the stakes are is something that should definitely be felt and experienced at a movie theater. The visuals, special effects, and action scenes are also stunning. It amazes me that this movie costed less money to make than Disney's Cruella. If anything should have costed $200 million, it is certainly this movie, because the special effects are amazing. The look of the world and the technology and how the special effects interact with the characters and actors is pitch perfect. It's another attribute to the film's world building and how it fully immerses you into the world, as you definitely feel that thanks to the special effects, you've been transported to this world. And before I discuss the action, I must stress this is not an action blockbuster movie as the marketing might suggest. This is not Star Wars. This is not The Lord of the Rings. It's not really that type of movie when it comes to action. The main focus is on the story, the world, and the characters. So don't go into this movie expecting a whole lot of action. But for the little action scenes there were, I thought they were very entertaining. They were intense, exciting, and a ton of fun to watch. They were well shot, well choreographed, and once again, they were one of the many highlights of the film. And the last positive thing I can say about this movie is the characters. I liked every single character in this movie. They were all three-dimensional, well-developed, they were all interesting, and the actors who portrayed them brought a lot to their characters. I couldn't see anyone else playing them. Even the characters who were barely in the movie, their actors really brought a lot to their characters and made the most out of their screen time, and I'm very curious to see where these characters end up in the sequel, because I like these characters a whole lot. But unfortunately, I have many, many issues with this film that prevent it from making it one of my favorite films of the year, unfortunately. The first and biggest problem with the movie is the story. Now, I know people who have read the book and stated that the story of Dune is boring. It is not this grand epic tale like I said earlier, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. It's about space politics in a sense. And I went in knowing that. And even going in knowing that, for the first half of the movie, I was sold. Like, I was really with it. I thought it was doing everything right. And I was seeing the praise and the glowing reception for the film. I was like, all right, this is like one of the best movies of the year. I really like it. It's a ton of fun. The story is great. Everything about it. Until the second half of the movie starts, and that's where I feel the film really took a nosedive. As I feel that this is the part of the movie where they slowed down the pacing and started to explain a lot more things closer to the audience, if you understand what I mean. Like, that first half of the movie goes by so quick. It's like if Sonic the Hedgehog was explaining something to you. Like, the way it's paced and the way everything is explained to the audience, it's basically telling them, look, if you miss something, too bad. We're moving on to the next plot point and we're not going back. And that was something I really liked about the film, as it was just always constantly on the move. Where this part of the film, it really slowed things down and said, all right, we're going to actually explain things, and we're going to take things one step at a time. And it really made the film drag, in my opinion, as it took its pacing to a halt and tried to make it more understandable for its audience when it didn't really do so earlier in the movie. And it really made the film feel longer than it was, because there is a point near the end of the film where I thought, okay, we're wrapping things up, the film is ending now, and just like Ron's Gone Wrong, I thought the film was over and it was going to end, but then it went on for like another 45 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is going on forever. And because of the story and the pacing during this half of the film, I was starting to lose interest and I started to get tired of the world and the dialogue and even what the characters were doing, because they took so long to get where they needed to go, and I felt that the film needed to bring back its quick pacing from the first half of the film so that not only the characters get to where they need to go to set up part 2 quicker, but also that the story could feel a lot better and move a lot smoother than it was during this point of the film, because it really was starting to get tiresome and even a little repetitive, in my opinion, because they were basically like, they need to get away from the bad guys, they go to this place and then walk in the desert, and then they need to get away from the bad guys, they go to this place and they walk in the desert, and that started to get a little tedious to me. And my last issue that I will say about this film is something that I also had an issue with in the first half, and that is the exposition and the different plot points the film was throwing at you were getting a little hard to follow and understand at certain points, because they would explain things so fast or take forever to explain them that it became like very hard to understand or grasp what was going on or what is being said, because they're moving so quickly. And this is a problem that even people I know who liked this movie had issue with, that there are definitely points where they didn't really understand what was happening, as did I. But even with my many issues with the film, I would still recommend that you go check this out, because I do think it's something worth seeing at the theater for its positives, like the world building, the spectacle, the visuals and special effects, the characters, and even the minimal amount of action scenes, it does top notch, because even though that I had issues with the story and the pacing, I still thought that my time wasn't wasted, and I still am very looking forward to what the future holds for this film, as the sequel is once again coming out in 2 years, and I'm curious to see where this leads to, and I'm very happy for Denis Villeneuve's career at this point, because it feels like it's just going to increase from here. I just felt that the film just wasn't for me. Once again, I had a lot of issues with the story and the pacing, mainly in the second half. But once again, I do recommend that all of you go check it out and see it for yourselves. Maybe you'll see this and say that I'm crazy. I'm sure half of you are already saying that right now. And you will see this and say it's one of the greatest films of the year, and or even of all time. And if you do, great. I'm very happy for you. I just wish I was on the same page. But once again, I still recommend that you all go check this out at the movie theater, or if you are not really comfortable with returning yet, it's available to watch on HBO Max, and if you have it or have the money for it, definitely watch it there, as I still give this a recommendation. And those were my thoughts on Dune. What did you guys think of it if you've seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on all of the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, guys, stay sharp.
I keep seeing visions of you, visions of you.